This is Mr. John from AK Dragfish 3D, and this is my second vlog for 10th edition games. My road to Adepticon. This is part 2. I've currently played 2 games recently, one against Sisters of Battle and one against Space Marine tanks. I want to share what I've learned with you so far, thoughts, insights, etc. Add some clips and some pictures of what I'm talking about here, there, and everywhere. Done 2 games so far. Like I said, one against Sisters of Battle, one against Space Marine tanks, as I was playing Imperial Knights. Now, Imperial Knights is one of the strongest armies in the game right now. It's what I chose to play for this year. Last year I chose Grey Knights. The year before I chose Space Marines. This year I choose Imperial Knights. Some things I've learned so far. Tank shock. Tank shock is an amazing, amazing thing. So, you've got your charger and you've got your model. When you charge in during your charge phase, you burn 1 CP. Yeah. 1 CP. And you take the strength of the weapon, and you roll that many dice. It doesn't seem like much when you think about a chain fist, a power fist, thunder hammer. Thunder strike gauntlet is 20. That's 20 dice. And you throw them. One thing we learned with the Sisters of Battle, or the SOB player running 12. So you throw that number of dice on 5+ for each dice. The target gets a mortal wound. This is in the charge phase. The strength of the weapon is above the toughness of the target. You get 2 extra dice. So I tank shock with the Thunder Strike Gauntlet for 22 dice to most things, because there's not many things that toughness 20 in the game. Be considerate of your opponent's dice pools when applying tactics, and namely for Sisters of Battle Resurrection. Sisters of Battle have this thing where if they have 3 miracle dice, they can sack the 3 miracle dice as a token and resurrect a character on death. Now, me and my opponent had this really long argument about the way it's worded. We had our TO present, a good friend of ours also, and he ruled it as such that you have to resurrect outside of engagement range. So if the character dies in engagement range, you've got to resurrect outside of engagement range. There was a big argument about that. There's some nuances. I encourage you to go read it, read the commentary, read the Sisters of Battle. There's a lot of characters that resurrect, that have resurrection capabilities. So I encourage you to go read those rules to make sure you can resurrect inside or outside of engagement range. Alright, so during my Space Marine game, and it was all tanks, minus 2 Terminator squads and some Eliminators. So 3 Vindicators, 3 Predators, so on and so forth. It was a lot of armor. However, one thing to note about running Knights, especially against something slow like Terminators, you can outrun them. Period. End of story. Okay, we have Super Heavy Walker. We can step over them. If they're 4 inches or less, we can move, advance, and fall back over them. Don't stress over something you can't outmaneuver. On that note, don't let the base size screw you up. Knight base is somewhere in this vicinity. On a table, it's okay, cool. You look at the table, you look at all the terrain, you look at your base, and you go, oh shit. Don't stress it. I'm serious, don't stress it. Your Knights will be more than fine. Oath the moment on the thing is very painful. He called an Oath the moment target. He shot everything at the Oath the moment target. Target went down. Not very good when it takes one of your Questoris Knights out. I have 7 models on my army. If I'm losing 1 a turn, my effectiveness goes down 1/7 every turn, every time he pulls the trigger. Be aware of your rotate ion shields. Armigers are Knights too. As far as Knights themselves are concerned, if you've got a CP, save it. Valiant Last Stand is a 1 CP strat for Knights in melee. It's essentially fight on death for Knights. Tank shock, tank shock, tank shock, tank shock, tank shock. Lessons learned, tank shock. It's great. 6 mortal wounds, and there's not a lot of defense against mortal wounds in 10th edition. 2 last points about Knights. 1, don't let your oath consume you. We choose 2 oaths at the beginning of the game. Do not let that oath consume how you play. Oh no, I took Layla the Tyrant. I gotta kill this Tyrant. I gotta get honored. I gotta get honored. Yes, being honored is nice. Your Feel No Pain goes from 6 to 5. And you gain 3 CP. But that all ticks over at the command phase. It's not instant. So let him make a mistake. Let him hand you that Warlord. Or if you take the other one, I'm drawing a mind blank on his name, because I have yet to try it. I'll try it later today. Where you get into your opponent's deployment zone. You blitz your opponent's lines and get in their deployment zone. Okay? Don't overthink it, because when you start to let a single point of the game consume you, that's when you make a mistake. I learned that a long time ago with Space Marines, and I got 20-30 models. Now I'm playing an army with 7 models. So I've got to really think about how I maneuver all my dudes. Final point is an Armiger strat. I'm drawing a mind blank on the name of it. I'll probably bring it up on screen here as a B-roll of some sort. You pick 2 or more Armigers that can see 1 target. 2 or more. So if you've got an army of Armigers that can see 1 target, you buff them. Buff does 2 things. 1 if you're normal, 2 if you're honored. If you're normaled, it gives all their weapons +1 AP. So that thermal spear on the Warglaive goes from -4 to -5. Armiger autocannons on the Helverins go from 1, Armor Pen 1 to Armor Pen 2. If you're honored, if your whole army is honored, then it's also 1 more damage, which really turns the tide of war, especially with the Armiger autocannons, as they become, once you're honored, and then you pop that strat, they become Strength 9, -2 AP at 4 damage. That's with 8 shots, hitting on 3s, that's nothing to sneeze at. There's my 2 cents on it. Stick around for, after I get some games in, I'll drop another vlog and add my 2 cents more on how knights interact. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, go check out the rest of the channel where I talk about fishing and gaming and other aspects of life in interior Alaska. Thanks for watching.